Hi everyone and welcome along. The studio is full of flowers and that can only mean that we are gearing up for our floral alphabet. You'll have heard me talk about it over the month of April and I'm so excited because we are starting it on May 1st, this Thursday. So what do you need? Well, this little video is here to show you everything to get prepared for your floral alphabet. But essentially, you're going to start off with a template with the very faint letters on it, and you're going to come away with such a special piece of art. And here is my finished piece. I'm just giving you a quick glimpse because obviously I'm going to try and do a funny little reveal of each letter each day, but it's also, I just want to show you what a beautiful thing you're going to be painting over the next few weeks because it's given me so much joy. This piece is going to provide you with the most incredible sense of achievement. It's going to look so beautiful and maybe be the most incredible gift to give. It lends itself to maybe go in a child's bedroom or nursery, or maybe your very own room or your very own home. Just a gorgeous celebration of the seasons in lots of these miniature flowers that we've been painting so many of. So you are all going to be so well prepared for this. So let me tell you a little bit more before we get started. Our floral alphabet is going to be one tutorial per letter coming to you free on our YouTube channel in place of our regular Tuesday and Thursday watercolour tutorial slots, and we are reinstating our Friday tutorial as well. So you're going to get 3 a week starting on May the 1st, and it just seemed like the perfect time of year to do it whilst the flowers are really bursting and blooming through into June, and you will transform your template into the most beautiful illustrated floral alphabet. So how does it work? Well, this is the template. It is an A4 piece of Tintoretto gesso paper, and it is exactly the same paper that we use for the advent calendar. The paper is fantastic for sort of miniature watercolour illustrations. We've loved using it the last 4 years for the advent calendar, so we thought, why not? Let's just continue on. But the big difference here is you are getting the template of every letter outline, so you do not have to worry at all about lettering. You can just colour those in and focus on painting your miniature flowers. And if I give you just a little sneak peek, your floral alphabet is going to go from this to this. So this is the finished piece with gorgeous flowers of various types, and obviously each flower we paint will correspond with its beginning letter. So we're going to begin on Thursday, May 1st. I'll keep saying tomorrow and you just know I'm going to mean the next one. So our letter A is going to be one of my absolute favourites, the anemone, and you've probably glimpsed quite a few of those flowers there. It's not going to be a huge, like closely kept secret every time, but we are going to have a bit of fun with the reveal. So what do you need for the floral alphabet? Well, the first thing is you need a template. Whether you have bought a hard copy and got the paper through the post, or just like we do with the advent calendar, we've also got a digital version on sale that you can download and print off at home, provided that your printer can feed through some watercolour paper. So that's very much something that you're going to know about your own printer. And then in terms of other kit, we're going to need a little HB pencil, and the hard and soft erasers are going to be so important. And then in terms of brushes, we're going to be using the 3 miniature brushes I always use, and these I actually sell in my Etsy and website shop as my detail brush sets. We've got a size 0, a size 2/10, and a size 4/10 brush, and they are perfect for our alphabet. However, I do also have a larger brush on hand at all times for mixing colours, because we do need to be able to mix. It's much better for your wrist if you use a larger brush to mix, because you're not doing lots of little micro movements with the tiny brush. You will see throughout this that I forget that rule and then remind myself quite as soon as I'm like, ow, my wrist is starting to hurt if I'm doing tiny little micro movements. So You can find the template and the brushes if you need them in my Winton Paper Co. store and also on my Etsy shop. And then, of course, your paints. What we're going to do each time is there will be a list of all the colours that I'm using for each letter in the episode notes below the video. But as with all my YouTube tutorials, I will be talking you through the colours I'm using and the mixes I'm using as we go. So that should be absolutely fine. And then just the regular things like a bit of kitchen roll and, of course, plenty of fresh clear water. So is this the kind of thing that anyone can have a go at? Beginners, more experienced painters? Well, I say 100% yes. The reason we have been painting so many miniature flowers on social media with you is basically to get you geared up to have a go at the floral alphabet. So I would wholeheartedly say yes, come and have a go, whatever painting ability you are. And you know, what's the worst that could happen? You're going to create a really fun and personal illustrated alphabet. It will be the most amazing gift to give to someone or something to proudly put on your wall. With these template letters, it's going to make our lives so much easier to create a really professional looking piece of art. So the last thing I want to do before we start, one last little look at our finished version, is you can see the letters I've done in a series of 2 colours, and I just want to talk to you about those colours before we paint tomorrow, because those colours are, well, one of them is a pre-mixed colour and it is buff titanium, which is this colour here. Now, not all of you will have buff titanium, and the first thing I want to say is you can choose whatever colour you want to have as your backdrop colours. You do not have to choose buff titanium. But if you don't have it and you want to sort of mimic it with the colours you do have, most of us have a yellow ochre, which is great. And the good news is with just a little bit of Payne's grey, you can cool down your yellow ochre and then just dilute it. And look, you've got a almost identical colour to buff titanium. So that's the first one. The second colour I'm using is a sort of tealy turquoise, which I have created from a mixture of aqua green, good old buff titanium once again, and some green gold. And I just played around with the mix. Green gold is such a strong one, so I sort of, once I'd got it mixed up, I sort of kept on adding a bit more aqua green and then just sort of knocked it back a bit and came up with this kind of colour. So if you want, you could add a bit of Payne's grey into that, make it a little less sort of bright, make it a little more muted. But these are the colours that I am using as my letter backdrops. And I think the only other thing to say, as with the advent calendar, I always used a little piece of plain watercolour paper. It's not so plain anymore, it's been well used, to just protect the rest of my piece when I was painting. So I just got it rest so I could rest my hand on it and just protect any bit. And of course, when you start to come down your page as well, you can protect it at various points. So I think that's pretty much everything you need to know about our floral watercolour alphabet. If you haven't got your template or your brushes, then head to my Etsy store or my dewintonpaperco.com web store and we will get those sent out to you as fast as possible. But I will see you on May 1st for our first letter. See you then.